All right. Welcome to Tales of Winternoct, Tale of Cybil's Spear, Book 3, Chapter 21, Primary Actual Play D&D 5e Campaign. I'm Silver. I'll be your storyteller this evening. With me are Saga, Dustin, Jeff, Ernie, Conrad, AJ, and our special guest, Ollie, our players for tonight. For those of you tuning in for the first time, or if you missed a session, I'd like to encourage you to check out previous sessions our YouTube channel. Also like to direct you to our Discord server and Instagram to join our community and interact with us. Links to all can be found in the About section of the Twitch channel. Want to thank Smiteworks for Fantasy Grounds, our virtual tabletop of choice, Sirenscape for our amazing ambient sound effects and music, Discord for our voice and video, and Wizards of the Coast for Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition, the game we play. Tales of Winternoct is not sponsored by, nor are we an official representative of any of these companies, and the views and statements made during our game do not in any way represent those of the companies. We'll be continuing our current giveaway. So close. Looking for 100 followers. We're at 98. Just need two followers. Once we reach that point, we will be doing a giveaway of a lovely set of dice. These nice, cold, make you feel cold in the cold temperatures of this nice winter we have begun. To enter the giveaway, redeem 100 channel points to activate the enter giveaway option and then join our Discord. Everyone eligible can enter once per stream and accumulate multiple entries until we reach 100 followers, at which time we will choose one entry as a winner. If you are chosen as the winner of the giveaway, you will be contacted on Discord to get your mailing address to send you your prize. And lastly, but certainly not least, this is our annual holiday charity stream through the Together for Good event with Twitch. And to tell you a little bit more about our chosen charity, I'll turn it over to the amazing Saga. Over here, sorry.
Wherever I am. Hi, I am Saga, and today we are partnered with Solve ME. For the past few years, many individuals who have contracted COVID-19 have never fully recovered. The CDC have estimated around 12.5 million adults who were infected with SARS-CoV-2, including those who were asymptomatic, currently have what is called long COVID. And I'm among them. For the past 10 months, I've been experiencing brain fog, extreme fatigue, chronic pain, and cognitive dysfunction. Knowledge on long COVID and the related myalgic encephalomyelitis, or chronic fatigue syndrome, is limited, but those who deal with it are in it for the long haul. The Solve ME/CFS initiative is a nonprofit organization who are advocates for patients and investors into the scientific, medical, and pharmaceutical research for long COVID and are wanting to see a world where these syndromes are widely understood and treatable. Their website, which we have linked, provides easily available resources and information to everyone and a breakdown of their impact and annual financial reports. Long COVID and ME/CFS are not understood. So many patients, myself included, have been left adrift because there's so few medical professionals who know what is going on, and that's if we can get medical attention at all. Solve ME is working to change that, and that's why Tales of Winternoct's charity stream this holiday season we have partnered with them. I am personally very lucky that I have D&D, that I have these amazing people and friends, as so many have been left isolated from their friends and family because of long COVID and because of these syndromes. Unable to do their hobbies and, like me, unable to work. Any donation to this cause would be amazing, as it would help support not only the research into these illnesses, but those who advocate for people who quite literally have lost their voices. From personal experience, there have been stretches of days where I have not been able to either walk or talk. And I'm quite lucky in as far as what I have dealt with personally. Please donate if you are able, And if you can't, just being here and engaging with the stream is not only supporting them, but also us. And we really appreciate everyone who is here. So yeah.
All right. Thanks, Saga. Back to me. So I suppose previously on the Tale of Sybil's Spear. Sybil's Spear, a group of 6 strangers brought together through tragedy to form an adventuring team. They've endured many trials, emerged stronger and better suited to face their ultimate foe, Kurzarath the Dreamer, an otherworldly entity who once trapped adventurers, including many in the party and their loved ones, in another dimension, and whose true aspirations are yet unknown. Their current journey has brought them to Torslin, the northern homeland of the party's barbarian Jofridir. Arriving in the port city of Riyab, they met Jofridir's beloved Aliona, and together ventured to his hometown of Snodeskull. They arrived to find the town devastated by some sort of attack, which left the adults dead or missing, and the children sequestered in the sea caves under the care of the nearby lighthouse keeper Helen. Amongst the dead were Jofridir's brother Ivor and the village wiseman Herdert, but there was no sign of Jofridir's father, mother, or sister. However, Ivor's spirit survived the death of his body and attached itself to a dagger left behind with the body. A dagger bearing the name Luvenia, a name unfamiliar to the party, including Jofrid. The party headed south for Bjornsflut, the home of the Isbjorn clan, whom the party suspected was involved in the attack, leaving behind Aliona, who volunteered to help Helen transport the children to Riyab. They traveled for more than 4 days, overcoming numerous challenges and making interesting discoveries around the world of Torslin along the way. One particular encounter found them transported through a magical shrine to the realm of Ivan Senglut, a primordial being who challenged the party's trust and shared with them some cryptic information about the Dreamer. As a parting gift, Senglut helped speed them on their way, but left the party confused as to the specific date. The party finally arrived in Bjornsflut, covertly entered the village, and upon reaching the center, found Jofridir's father, alive but not well, taking a beating in the fighting pit. Battle ensued between the party and the warriors of Bjornsflut before it was abruptly stopped by the arrival of Navarra, a silver dragon. She escorted the party from the village and off to a mine at the base of the mountains, where the party asked questions before resting for the night. Here in Torslin, it is nearly morning, and our tale resumes as Jofridir is taking up the final watch of the night. Torsten, who briefly left the mine for a moment for a brief prayer, has returned, and I don't do this very often, but I am going to retcon that Navarra has not arrived yet. So, it is just the two of you and a bunch of sleeping folks.
Orson, is he just coming back into the cave, or has he been back in the cave?
So he gave himself like essentially he bathed in the snow to try and remove as much of the like filth from the fighting pit from him. And then while he was there, he sort of like was like on his knees and sort of like prayed for a brief moment, and then he seems slightly cleaner now as he comes back in. I guess in both spirit and body, which is nice. He still doesn't have a shirt, but you know.
I will point out you did grab clothes because you raided Vitali's house of anything you could find clothing-wise. Whether you're wearing a shirt is entirely up to you.
I think like there's no point. Why would I put a clean shirt on if I was still dirty? That's just throwing good money after bad. Yeah, I sort of walk back in and see Jofridir sort of sat there, and I, sort of like a nod as I sort of walk down, sort of sit back, like go back to where I was, sort of sleeping. But I sort of like sit there for a second. So there's like a little bit of silence that you get in like the morning. It's a little bit more relaxing. And I'll just sort of go. So, did you know we were going to have to kill a dragon when you came to find me? Or...
Well, we had our. I guess we all had our theories, feelings. I knew the dragon was somehow involved. Being all the letters with Mother, I had a suspicion, but obviously nothing concrete. People do tell stories. On one hand, there was the excitement behind it, but also uncertainty.
I feel the... I know those emotions. There's always, when you're going to go up against something that has that sort of power, you get that little rush.
In all of the combat we have seen, never felt, I guess, else would call it scared. Don't know much about that. Never had a problem just running in head first. Here I'm unsure, but I really do. I mean, obviously I'd do anything to get Mother and sister back.
I feel the same. For her and for you, for Aiden, for... well, there's nothing I wouldn't do. Nothing I wouldn't try and sacrifice.
I just wish I'd made the decision to come earlier. My friends here. Between you and a few people from home, I don't think there's anybody else I'd rather have at my back, fighting. And or even coming here, I told him I don't know what we're walking into. We may be fighting a dragon or what. But I didn't expect any of them to feel the need to follow. Very thankful for them all. They all came on their own coalition.
They seem like good people. You are lucky to have found a second family away from us.
Definitely see them as such. We do have a house back in Cybil together.
You own property now.
Oh, partial owner, I guess. It's owned by Cybil Spear.
Never thought I'd see the day one of my kids owned property on Six Belts.
I never thought it would happen either. Honestly, finding a group of friends like this and things we've done was probably the last thing I'd think of happening when I left. Sure, I wanted to make a name for myself and do something else, do something with my life, maybe make a difference, but never thought it would have came this way.
Over there, you're always going to make a difference. It didn't matter where you were. But I'm glad you're finding more of a place for yourself. I know for some people, home is a good place to start from, not a place to finish.
Do enjoy all the adventuring and even the simpler side of things when we're not writing or dealing with things that are myth and rumor or 1 in a million chances of dealing with. But at the end of the day, still think of home. once I retire, if it comes to that, I do plan on coming back.
Well, make sure you're coming back for you, and you're not coming back because you feel like you have to. It's rare to find something that suits you. It's something worth holding on to. And what you said before about the bits in between, it's funny. People are quick to remember the things that I've done, the beasts that I've killed, the people I've saved. But the bits I miss the most are the quiet days. When you're just letting everything take over.
I think we can all appreciate quiet days. And porcelain will always be my home. I'll always have my people here. But perhaps one day have my own boat and spend the days just fishing, relaxing, reminiscing.
That would be nice. I'd like to see that. Maybe I'll join you.
That would be amazing.
Why don't you give me a perception check? Or you can each make a perception check. Be so choose. Ooh, teased
That's
with
more
that 19.
I roll a perception.
That's my
Anybody
dad.
staring into the dark cave with no dark vision? Just asking. Take that as a no.
I'd probably
no,
be
yeah.
faced like sideways to where I can just turn my head and look both directions out
Yeah.
the front and then, keep peeking down further in the mines, but not really paying as much attention down the tunnel.
Okay.
I wouldn't think much would be coming from there.
I'd be looking like at Jofrid. Behind him would probably be the entrance to the cave, so he's turning to the right or
Don't notice really any sort of activity back within the cave other than occasional person rolling over, shifting positions as everybody starts to get near that point of waking for the day. Outside, start to see a little bit of illumination, things getting just a little bit lighter out. No real sign of sun. Pretty shielded away there, but just a matter of the sky lightening up just a bit and revealing a little bit of the valley down below that was a little bit harder to see in the dark, aside from the glow of the burning buildings. Now you have a pretty good view of off in the distance is Bjorn's flute. Good trails of smoke coming off the village. But no real sign of still burning fires. But activity-wise, it's pretty quiet, pretty peaceful morning.
So I'm pretty sure we got a little fire going. Did we have the dome up? I can't remember.
Yes, I believe so. We have the hut up, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. With the hut up.
By this time, it would have been back up. Yeah.
Yeah, with the hut up and Jofrid experiencing it in the past, he probably know it's coming towards an end, so he would start the fire a little bit, put a little extra wood to get that warmth going for when everyone else is awake. And, all that kind of stuff.
I'll root through the stuff that I just fully stole from Fiddley's house before I kicked his mum out and burnt it down. For anyone
It's a
joining, I'm
sentence.
a great person.
He had good
Fair.
reason.
You were kidnapped. It's totally understandable.
Absolutely. I was looking for anything that I can put on to replace the god awful rags. There were nice clothes at one point, but now they are awful rags. Trying to find an outfit. So what's my fit? So
Yeah, it's not the best of fits amongst the clothes, but you are able to find a few that'll be a little bit if once you get back to your fighting weight, it'll be pretty tight. But in your current 50 days being starved in a pit, it's a little bit loose.
I was just cutting weight for the dragon fight.
There we go.
Yeah.
There was a weight limit.
Yeah,
It's,
as we're stirring around a little bit,
Oh.
if we're able to go over to his bag, pulling out the box, and he's going to go over to Thorsten, open up the box, grab a couple pieces of spiced beef jerky that he got from Simmons, hand him a couple pieces. Here.
This almost like a single tear as he smells this.
It was a gift from Selena some time ago, but it's still good and very nice taste, flavor to it. Not just a little bit spicy.
Thank you. He takes like a small bite. Is probably slightly overwhelmed by the amount of actual flavor. And then immediately starts taking larger and larger bites. There is chewing. It's just few and far between. It starts off savoring and then becomes an act of desperate nutrition. I do that as I'm sort of like I'll have like the piece of jerky like in my mouth as I'm then trying to put this ill-fitting shirt over myself. Is there any armor as well? Did I steal anything that I could put on so I'm not just rolling around in a shirt?
Yeah, you're able to actually latch on to. You pretty much just like raided the wardrobe on the way out, and so you just got anything that was in there. And as you're picking through, it's like, okay, well, there's this shirt. It's a little bit loose, but it'll work. Seems like it was fairly clean. Not too much Vitali stink on it. There's a few dresses that don't, seem like they'll be a little bit tight on your frame. But, in a pinch, they'll work.
My headcanon is that he just pulled a coat rack.
Yeah.
A coat suit,
Yeah.
and it had everything in it.
I just dragged it with me the entire way.
Yeah.
Got the whole bar just dragging it. But, there's a couple, some vests, some heavier cloaks. Nothing compared to, the quality of the crow cloak that Yofredir handed off to you as you were leaving. But there's just a set of basic leather armor in there. And surprisingly, a set of splint armor in there.
Oh, damn. I sort of look at the splint armor and I try and compare it to the clothes, and I realize that if I want any sort of movement, I literally take one of the shirts, the one that's almost the thickest, and I just try and start ripping at the seams of the sleeves. So then I'll have actual sort of range of movement in my shoulders, so it's not constricting me, because I may not be at fighting weight, but I'm definitely more in shape.
Still have a large frame.
Yeah. Yeah, I do that. I put the splint mail over, and then I do my best to try and fix it round so it sort of works. Like a pair of it's long pants. I don't know if I stole any boots, but I'd like to imagine I just took some actual shoes or boots from the house before I left.
There's a couple pair of boots. If you want to have taken them, that's fine.
Nice. Yeah, I'll sort
Stick them
of
on the
dress
ends
myself.
of the curtain rod.
It's how you kept all the other clothes on the curtain rod.
Boot on each end. I borrowed that knife, didn't I? So I managed to sort of shave away the excess hair. Just the most dangerous kind of shave, with a naked blade and using snow as a shaving foam. So it's called a Torsten shave.
At least heat up the knife.
You make sure the skin's ice cold, and then you just sort of hack away.
Numbs it in case there is any cuts.
Exactly. Joffrey looks over, covered in blood. I'm just like,
Not your first time shaving without any sort of anybody to guide you on. Did you get it all? It's just It is as good as it is. That's all that matters.
yeah, it's like now he's just like completely like as clean shaven as he can be on his head. And he sort of like hacks away at the beard to give it a shape. It's not great, but he sort of like, by doing that and like having washed and then wearing clothes and armor, he's sort of just like, he feels a little bit more himself compared to like with the after praying as well this morning. He's suddenly feeling more like him.
I'd say to Yofridir that far more of a semblance of recognition of this is more so your father, especially with the clothing covering up the malnourishment and, weight loss. Kind of just puts you into a little bit more, this is pretty close to the same figure, other than a little bit more drawn in the face. Not the full rosy cheeks. Santa Claus is looking a little skinny.
Yeah, your operator saying that definitely has a smile, and since he found Torsten, he's definitely had that look of admiration in his eye that he used to have when he was always around. So.
As you near the end of your watch, rest of the party starting to stir to some degree. We aren't going to roll unless you want to. You can choose if you need to roll to decide whether you're waking up, but otherwise you could just wake up as you feel fit. Obviously, some of you have had rougher nights than others. And
yeah.
Go ahead.
I say you're expecting oh yeah, now's about the time the dome's gonna go down, and it doesn't.
And Lonan's probably going to be up. She's normally also, same with Yofidir, up very early, so she'll, unless anyone else is earlier than her, probably be the first one up.
Sidri probably shortly after. Not much exercise to be doing out here, unless we're going to take a trek through the mine, but meh.
Yeah, Alfred will shortly wake after, probably. Take a look around, notice the dome, look and see how everyone is, and then take a moment with Cybil before doing his morning, doing a morning prayer ritual to burn it.
What about Kiesel?
I'm waking up. It's cold outside.
Not. It's nice and toasty.
The dome is temperature controlled.
Well, then I get out of the dome to try to get ready and reacclimate to the cold weather ahead of us. With my 106 hit points.
Yeah, with everybody starting to get up, Yoker will probably just step out of the mine, maybe 10, 15 feet, do some stretches, and just have a look around, see if, obviously it's still snowing, but see if there's anything noteworthy.
After finishing his prayer ritual, Alfred is going to tightly bundle up his crow cloak and step outside the dome. And he's going to. How far is Kiesel gone? Like any distance?
I'd be at like the mouth of the mine shaft.
Okay. In a few minutes, you would hear Alfred walking up behind you, and he'll just come up and. Good morning, Kiesel.
Good morning.
Did you sleep all right?
Yes. Did you?
Yeah. But also I was working on something. So do you have your glaive on you by any chance?
Kiesel will pull out his glaive that he was leaning on from behind him.
Alfred will act like he did not see it. Perfect. Well, I have this sort of device I was working on, and it might be able to give you a hand um if you'd be willing to let me like work on your glaive for a second.
Sure. This would not be the first time you've upgraded some of my things.
Yeah, in the same way, this one is not necessarily a permanent addition, but it's definitely something that I feel is a little bit more uh fiery, for instance.
Well, now that you have my curiosity,
Yes, Alfred is going to uh kneel down beside your weapon and attach a like large cylindrical piece to the side of it, and it's gonna have like um braided ends that you would assume are for like exhaust or whatnot, and the top end is like pointed in a sort of like metallic patina, as it just comes down in like a almost like a TP on the end of it. It's got a large switch that you are able to like pull back, and it's got a small like bar on the side that's got right now 8 pieces or indicators. Uh, yeah, so I've been working on sort of trying to get my uh, inventions to fruition. I guess taking them out of prototypes. So this one you're able to. Oh, I just had the spell.
oh no.
Here we are. This one will sort of brighten your blade, and it's burning blade is the spell attached to it.
Ooh.
So it's an action, concentration up to 1 minute, and on hit, like you have to use the spell as part of the attack action. On a miss, the spell ends, but on a hit, target suffers the attack's normal effects and takes additional 3d6 fire damage. Oh, I can just post this as well.
Ooh.
And then your attacks with the weapon deal an extra 1d6 fire damage on hit.
Nice.
It is nice.
No shit, my bad.
Nice. Yeah, so I figured with the possible fight coming up, it might be good to have a little bit more, quite literally, firepower.
This is amazing. How many times can I use it?
Right now it's 8 times. This bar on the side, it'll go down each time you pull this handle. Or pull this lever, sorry.
I will make sure to cherish this just like the last one that you made for me. And I will keep in mind ways to repay you when the time is most appropriate.
Repay me by not dying. I think that would be the greatest thing that you could do for me.
Oh, that's a given. It's not a
Well,
reward.
then we have a deal.
Sure.
I'm great at
We
this.
have a deal.
I guess Cybil will sort of sniff and inspect as we're sitting around. How everyone else is doing.
As you all gather yourselves, start to fully wake up, whatever activities you're carrying out, any little chit chat conversations that go on, base making anything food wise for the party, or whether we're just sticking to good old rations, or pressuring somebody into good berries.
Zidru will
Some
be
wine?
casting Goodberry, but he's actually going to end up doing something before that, which is in order to maintain the magical properties of the berries, and also based on what Selenas had said the previous night, he's going to go ahead and take out the Magrolftafang pieces that are in his hand.
Okay. Do this just in full view of everybody, or kind of find a little secluded spot?
He'll go ahead and head over into the mine and just kind of sit on the cold floor before kind of taking out his acupuncturist needles and some of his kind of tools before, going in.
Give me a sleight of hand. It takes you a little bit of time. It's a bit of a mess. They've been in there, about a week now. But the 14, you're able to eventually get all the bits and pieces that you recall putting in there removed and sew things back up pretty well. Can't promise no scar, but not bad.
Zidru can promise that it's not going to scar, though, because immediately after doing that with kind of the blood-soaked pieces in front of him, he's going to go ahead and just step out, grab some snow, kind of put it on top to kind of cool down a little bit. But he's actually going to go ahead and offer a small prayer for finally reaching clarity between both Briora and Infernus. And fortunate that he couldn't make it to the temple. But he's also going to go ahead and turn that prayer quickly into a meditation and cast a new spell of his. So as he goes ahead and does that, the stitches over on his hand, they already start to kind of slightly pop with his hand being healed, because with this spell sustaining meditation, which I think I can go ahead and do this for. Whoop, nope, it doesn't do that. How do I drag a spell out onto there? I just wanted to port it out for y'all. Oh, here. Is that? Yeah, I think that'll work.
Let's should let us click
To
it.
click on it.
Yeah, you have to click on it. But no, he has full understanding and control over his body's natural processes. So he's going to go ahead and maintain that just to make sure that he is full up before he makes some good berries, not just for the members of the party, but also for Cybil and the horses as well.
Nice. As you finish up those activities, if anybody else has anything, feel free to interject.
One last thing.
Go ahead.
Alfred will. He's already prayed for the morning, but now he will pray. He will move away from Kiesel for a bit and sit somewhere sort of in the mouth of the cave entrance, still able to see like the. Are we able to see the sun at all?
No.
Okay. In spite of Alfred is going to pray for heroism.
Okay.
I mean, what better time? He's just going to go through a very almost basic prayer, fundamental prayer even rather, just to continuously go through it, almost like a Catholic, like Hail Marys, like just continuously going over and over and over it. Just thinking about this white dragon, thinking about like what we're gonna be doing, and yeah, here we go. Oh wow. Huh. No.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Such as life.
Can we use inspo on piety rolls?
I don't think so. I think we've said that was. Oh man, so close.
Wow.
They're one away.
Actually-
One off.
Mhm.
I assume
Yeah.
this was to Fire Lord.
Yes, of course.
Okay.
The connection isn't as strong as Alfred would hope, I guess.
No, I'm gonna say it succeeds because I haven't updated your piety scores yet. I didn't expect. So was the last thing on my list,
Yes!
and I'm like, damn it, I'm not gonna have time to do piety scores. So I'm gonna run on the presumption that I'm pretty sure you earned at least 1 point with Infernus over the last 20 sessions to get you to the
Incredible.
35.
Really? Okay. Well, I mean, I'm fine with it failing because I know that I have had some fails in the previous like level as well. I don't know actually if I would gain.
Dustin, just take it.
Just
You
take
made
it.
efforts to save a temple just the day
Okay.
before, so
Fair.
I think that's a pretty
That's
high on the
something.
list of things to accomplish. So I'm gonna give it to you.
Will do. I
Um,
won't argue the DM.
so for the next hour, you're immune from frightened and gain 12 temporary HP.
Nice.
I got the.
You feel a little bit emboldened, a little bit out of the ordinary rate. That you guys have enjoyed a little bit of success with saving Jofridir's dad. You have a couple targets, but they're targets now, not guesses. Something that would very easily scare you on a normal day, you start to feel a little bit calm that Infernus has got your back. As you prepare to face whichever trials await you in the next hour. with that, those of you towards the front of the mine that are awake, presuming Salinas is still attempting to catch some sleep after his restless night.
Yeah, I think he's probably still asleep. Unless someone's made efforts to wake him up.
Alfred hasn't done so this morning. Or Cybil hasn't done so this morning.
Looking out over the valley, out past the entrance to the mine, kind of a silvery coloring as the sun has now crept up above the horizon, illuminating the sky a little bit more as you start to hear the beating of wings as Navara descends from the cloud-filled sky, her wings beating, throwing snow in all directions, casting it off of the jagged rocks around the mine's entrance, giving a little bit of a vibration in the air as she lands with the thud of her four-clawed feet hitting the trail just away from the little wooden shed stands sentinel over the mine. Her light silver scales kind of shimmering in that little bit far more illuminated sky than you had before. As she scans the area, looking up into the mountains, looking all around before slowly moving towards the mine's entrance. Settling in on the ground, her feet tucked underneath her, as she just watches, waiting, frost billowing from her nostrils, mingling with that chilly morning breeze. She just watches the entrance to the mine, awaiting the party's waking.
As soon as Lonan hears like the wing beats, she's gonna step out of the cave, out of the dome, and as she lands, kind of meet Navara like halfway to the cave entrance. Like kind of like jogging down the path.
Okay.
Morning. Sorry. And she's just gonna like for a second be like kind of like starstruck for a second. I have a in Draconic. I have some questions I wanted to ask you really quickly, if you don't mind.
She just nods her head
Um
affirmatively.
So how did you end up in Torsland?
Always lived here. Not here. In Torst.
Do you interact with like mortal beings often? Is that how you learned common?
I like to observe. Listen. On occasion.
Have you ever met another mortal who knows how to speak Draconic?
A few. Not many.
This is kind of complicated, but she'll summon folk. Do you know what a like spirit drake or drake companion is? That's what she is.
That is a neat little trick. Can't say that I know much about you call drakes, spirit drakes. Not really something I've interacted with.
Odin's shoulders are gonna kind of slump. I kind of was worried about that. I am admit kind of confused. I don't know how this happened either. Not really. Found a dragon tooth in a cave. She popped out of it later. That's how I learned
It's
Draconic.
interesting. Oh, was that here in Torsland?
No, it was far, far south. Underground, even. Do you know where? What's the name of the desert again? I cannot remember.
Just the Akarian wastes.
Yeah. Do you know about the Okarian wastes? The desert far, far south from here.
She takes a moment. Think I've heard mention of them once before.
Well, it was there, but underground. That's where I've been living for a long time. There was a cave. It's it's really complicated why I was down there. Suffice it to say, I found this, and she'll like lift the dragon tooth off that she carries up, and then a couple days later, I was fighting, and she popped up to help me.
She takes one of her front legs out, unfurls it from underneath her. She like reaches out with just a claw, kind of like just not like pull away, but like put it underneath the tooth to kind of hold it up closer to herself.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very interesting find. Very old. I presume magical in some sort. If it makes that.
I mean, aren't dragons innately magic entirely, so. Yeah.
Some more than others.
Well, thank you for answering my questions so kindly.
Keep it interesting. I'm happy to answer questions. I have a few of my own.
Of me or the others?
Well, just in general, whether you reach some sort of conclusion on what you wish to do.
Not quite yet.
I suppose you, as the leader of this little band.
Oh, I ain't the leader. Nope. That would be. I think the Alfred, the red one. He's the leader, not me. Um, I can just speak Draconic.
Well, not using your skills to the best of their ability, they should do a better job recognizing your talent. Anybody who can speak Draconic is clearly a little bit cut above the rest. Anyway, if you could, encourage them to help someone me out. And the rest of you folks in the valley.
Well, I don't think any of us are gonna shy away from facing off against Zormyrra, especially if it helps get Torsten and Jofridir's family and people out of here. It's just more of a matter of, are we going to check on people first, or are we going to go fight a dragon first?
As I've said, believe. More so, I think, behoove you to eliminate the threat. First, save the people. Second, but who am I? Just a innately magical being.
Are there people that are guarding the others?
Oh, most of it. It's
Good
not a
people.
threat or a milk run.
I
It's a
mean,
threat or a threat. But
yeah. I'll go get the others, and hopefully we'll reach a consensus sooner rather than later.
splendid.
Thank you again, Navarra.
She'll just nod her head, kind of like in a bow.
Lonan will jog back up the path towards the cave. Folk following. Hey, how are you guys?
Cold.
Zidri has offered everybody a good berry in the cabin.
Lonan will take it and pop it in her mouth.
It's like a speckled cranberry. But it tastes a little bit better than good berries that Zedri has cast in the past.
I don't understand why everyone always complains about these. These taste pretty good.
It's not the quality of the good berries that drives you to madness. It's the monotony of always eating them when you're out in the field. Eggs and toast and beans would be quite a delight once you get back home. Not to knock on the good berries. They're lovely, and I love them, and I will eat them every time. It's just when you're out for a month or two, or a couple of weeks even.
The day that I can conjure bread, I'll be the first to let you know, Kiesel.
And I'll be the first to hear about it.
Yofre will pop the Dreadberry in his mouth and be chewing and be like, they are good. I think, at least for me, I don't know about everyone else, I think it's more just you expect to eat more. Like, a big, turkey leg or something. That's what I
You
see as
guys
the
have
meal, not
never been starving before, have you?
Not recently, no.
Fair enough. Thank you, Zedri. Sorry. So, I was talking to Navarra. She's kind of wanting an answer on what we're doing. She recommends we go fight Zormyrra first, rescue the others after, once the dragon. Wait, where's Salinas? Like, she was like realizing that Salinas is not among everyone.
he's still asleep. We'll get him caught up once he wakes up. Or I could probably wake him up if you'd like.
Well,
I mean,
maybe my perception of time is off because the dome only lasts 8 hours, so we should give him 8 hours to sleep.
That's not
Right?
really how it works, Alfred.
No?
No. It's not really my story to tell, but the dim got dropped for a little bit of time, but looks like Salinas re-upped it.
oh, is he alright?
As long as everyone's in one piece, and I suppose physically and mentally.
We'll let him sleep a little bit. Let him yell at us for not waking him up later.
I think today of all days, he might not be yelling at people.
Oh, it's that bad, huh?
Kiesel will walk to the dome, and I will head first go into it. Do I phase or do I not?
Yeah, I mean, everyone was inside previously.
I phase. I didn't know if the locks got changed after everyone left. I will shake Salinas. I will rustle him gently and lightly before starting to manically shake him if he takes longer than I have patience for.
Gently rustling him isn't going to do jack.
Then after I realize that, I will start manically shaking Salinas. I have my claim in the other hand. I'm just banging it on the floor as I'm shaking Salinas. Wake up! Bang, 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 bang.
But yes.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yofrid was gonna step in as Selena says good morning and be like, oh, sorry, I got a pot of snow in case he wasn't getting up. Good morning, Selena.
Well, I guess I'm glad I avoided that.
Well, here,
At least.
still, we can use the pots. It's good for puffiness in the morning. Just dunk your face into it.
It'll
wake you up.
definitely give you a nice shock and make you aware if you're still sleepy.
I'll be okay, thank you.
You know, when I was younger, I used to have a hard time waking up too. My mother would just start tossing me out into the snow in the mornings. Definitely woke me up, and I learned quick to wake up.
Yeah, Kiesel just dunks his face into the pot of cold water. Anyway, it's time to get a move on. We have a dragon to maybe negotiate with. I'll definitely kill it.
Yeah, stepping back out of the dome, Yofrid will be like, well, as much as I want to save my family and people first, I can agree it's not the wisest choice. We should take care of the main threat first.
I thought that was always the plan.
We're just, I suppose, ironing out all the details.
Making
Navarra is outside. Talked with Lonan already.
Alright.
Would Navarra fit into the mine? So she can, like, come put her head by the party so she can join the conversation?
Yeah. She's just a large creature.
Yeah, Yofrid will kind of not yell, but, you know, pick up his voice a little bit. Navarra, if you'd like to come in a bit, part of the conversation. That is so strange. Having a dragon as company.
I mean, she's really nice.
Well, maybe she's not hungry, but I could be wrong. Which I have been before, so I will give her the benefit of the doubt.
She stays where she's at.
I think she wants us to decide without her.
What's the...
Go ahead.
No, I'm gonna ask a stupid question. What's the weather looking like? Is it getting worse? Is it getting more as we near the eventual hour of this confrontation? Is there like a blizzard picking up?
It's at least overcast.
Overcast, there's still light snow falling. It's pretty much the same as what you've had for the last couple days.
Okay.
Suppose an easy way of figuring this out. All in favor of slay the dragon first? Say aye.
Aye. Well, if I was unanimous,
Should make decisions like that more often.
Really, does it ever go that easy? Normally one person runs off in one direction and we all eventually follow.
yeah, I
think-
don't think we usually get time to vote.
I think we're very curious as to what's going on, and the dragon seems like the best place to start. And DM.
Mhm.
Now that it's like the next morning and like Lonan has kind of slept and like thought about it, is there anything that like from either what she's read or the weird amalgamation of magical dragon knowledge she got from folk that she can recall about white dragons in particular? And I'll roll for it. You need me to. I just
Okay.
need to know what to roll.
Nature.
Okay. And I get advantage because of recalling.
Yeah, I think that's the ability.
Yeah. All right.
And hey,
Wait,
perhaps
that
maybe we'll...
feels. It'd be 22. I don't know why it's did it like that. Oh, because I didn't do it as advantage. That's my thing. Sorry.
No problem.
Perhaps maybe once the dragon is slain, weather will clear up a bit to save the others.
That seemed to be what she was suggesting. There are some creatures or some people guarding uh, the others as well.
Also, I would advise always attacking a dragon in its lair rather than letting it fly around and cause havoc. It seems counterintuitive to attack where it's strongest, but
I think, ironically, it's going to be strongest when it's 50 feet in the air.
Yeah, it's. Yeah, it's more of a sense of if she can't get above us, then we technically do have an advantage, even if her layer is likely to be another complication.
Well, speaking to that, do we have a way to entrap her?
I took proper precautions last night. I think I have some magic that can go ahead and bind her down. But I need, for all of our agreement, for us to be completely clear that this isn't a time to go ahead and hold some sort of frozen tea party with a dragon, and that if we're going in there to go ahead and attack Zormyrra, we are attacking Zormyrra.
Oh, does that discount the fake a meeting to spring a trap?
You want to pose like we are coming with a deal and surprise them?
Yes, master technician, tactician. Think. Think. We can't just run in there, all 8 of us, 7 of us, 6 of us, like Yofer did, no offense, screaming our heads off. That thing's going to ice beam us in a laser straight line. If we go in there and we can at least maybe trick or trap it in its own home, that would give us a much needed leg up on the plane advantage. If this thing is even reasonably wanting to indulge itself in a meeting of us, it could just attack us on sight, but whatever we can do to stall time and set up maybe proper positions for spellcasters and whoever else, it beats running in there head on.
Zedri turns towards Lonan and just says, "You totally jinxed the situation. We all agreed on something, but obviously we don't have the same plan on how to make it happen."
Loden looks a little confused. Well, some things I was thinking about. Sorry, it distracted me for a second. when we start getting close to her, it is likely that some of us may be overtaken by the sheer awe and scary factor of a adult white dragon. So that might keep some of us from being able to do stuff. Icy breath, like Gisel mentioned. Uh, a likelihood that even if we're invisible or hidden, she'll still be able to know where we are. And strong and healthy, more than likely. Feel like kind of on. If we go to her lair while she's not there, she'll know we're there as soon as she gets there.
Regardless, even with whatever little time we have, just to do some quick observations and scouting, we can have you there. I just don't want everyone to be on the ground level.
Oh, I'm gonna climb up if we get in there, I'm climbing up something as quick as I can to get some height advantage.
Judging by where Navarra pointed us, I think the layer that she is using is the same one as her mate. The travel there is treacherous.
We might as well get started as soon as we can.
Silver, have I got like a good memory of what the lair looked like based on the last time I was there?
Give me a history
Will do.
or a nature.
Are any of them good?
I'm not sure if either one of those helps
No,
for Torsten.
none of them. Absolutely none of them. No. In fact, I'm going to grab this this blank box, which
like
has
father,
no
like
positives
son.
in, and I will roll that 9.
Vaguely,
Is there a raised area?
ice, rock, top of the mountain. Your recollection would be there was a lot of artificial structures within it, as in ice structures.
They might have changed. Some of them would have been destroyed in the fighting, I would assume.
Yeah.
The last time we went there, the moment we entered the cave, the breath, the ice, it took out many of the raiding party. It is narrow on purpose. The only way we were able to defeat him before was creating a defensive line with one group distracting and the other taking cover. And then using the 2 different points to draw the attention. The most important thing to do is to be coordinated. To trust in the people you're fighting with. To know that those who are willing to stand with you will not give any order. Fighting a dragon is a dangerous choice. So be as prepared as you can be for it. Not many can say they've done it and survived. But there are still times when the wind howls and the temperature drops, that I remember. So steel yourself. But this may be the most danger you've entered into.
Well, I can for sure say I'm going to choose a better group of family, essentially, to do this with. And I know before we even came here to Torsland, I mentioned to you all that we don't really know what we're getting into. But yet you all came by choice, and I could not thank you enough for that.
You know,
Protecting one's family is very important.
and you know, Yofordir, wherever you go, we will.
I've got all of your backs till the end, and I believe you all have the same mindset. And in all honesty, I don't know how far I would have gotten without you. I know there have been several close calls before.
But I mean, that's what we're here for. We cover each other's weaknesses and shore each other's strengths, and that's what makes us able to get through all these things. And that's what will continue to get us through these things.
If Navarre is waiting for our answer, we could at least go ahead and give her that. And then on the way up, through all of the perilous trekking, etc., we'll look over at Torsten, we could probably talk tactics.
Yeah.
Let's get a move on them.
Monin will go and tell Navarre that we're going ahead and going to fight Zormyrra first. Zormyrra, and then the others.
Splendid. She's going to just kind of point her snout up into the mountains. And then pick up that one hand that she used to touch your necklace earlier and just like hold out one claw pointing up into near the top of the mountains, straight behind the mine. Find her up there. Good luck.
Torsten, thank you. Torsten, is that about where you remember?
Is it the same place?
Yep.
Yeah. Before we leave, I'm actually going to sort of grab Yoffred and just be like, your mother isn't here, so I would lead us in a prayer before we go.
I would like that.
I'll sort of grab him and just say, Briora, I ask for your protection as we step into the unknown. May your warders guide me, carrying us where we need to go. Through lands unknown and seas untamed, let your wisdom and grace be my guide. Help us to trust in your currents, to move forward with confidence and courage. I seek your blessing on this journey, so we may travel safely and return whole.
Mother would be proud of that.
You told me everything I know.
As the guys are all kind of getting themselves ready, Lonan and Folk are going to kind of separate off a little bit and kind of leaning against the side of the cave. Lonan is going to say, I don't know which god is listening right now. Noctalis, I hope it's you. But if I don't make it out of this, he's protect Draven, protect Nadia, protect Arlo, protect my family. God, Draven's gonna kill me if I die here. And she'll kind of just like kneel next to Folk and like wrap her arms around her in a hug. Before joining the others.
Vara will get up, walk a little bit closer to the mouth of the mine. Give kind of like a bend one leg underneath to kind of give a little bit of a bow. I think you've made the right decision. Wish you well. With some luck. See you on the other side.
See you then.
And just immediately just unfurls the wings and taking off, blasting a bit of frigid morning air and snow around the party as she lifts off into the sky, her scales glinting in the dim light of the grayed sky. As she casts one last glance at you below, with her scarred eye, she takes off, initially heading off in the direction of where she's directed you to Zormyrra, before banking off towards the right, eventually disappearing in the difficult visibility of the blowing snow, leaving you behind to make your way. With the departure of Navarra and left to get on your way, I guess I need a marching order, I think.
I'd assume Torsten would know a path up there, so I'd probably be up towards the front if he is. But I'd probably stick with Torsten.
Yeah,
I would state
what I
for
remember.
Torsten's note, his path to get there would be from the other side of the mountains, not from this side.
I just reverse it.
Just walk backwards, you'll get there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Lauren
just
will-
want to clarify that. You guys just tell me who you want in what order.
Lonan and Folk will likely be taking up the rear and keeping an eye on everyone's backs.
I think Torsten would definitely sort of ask, like, who was like the pathfinder in the group, who was like the person who's like more likely to be able to find like solid ground, stuff like that.
Ooh.
Basically, who's got the survival skill?
Dude, I think that'd be me, actually.
Yeah, that'd most likely be Lonan, although typically just mix it up a bit.
I mean, I can take the front if... No, I'm sorry, I got mixed up and thought you might know a path up there, but I can take the
Unfortunately,
rear.
my only path that I know is from the other side of the mountains, so
Pretty well.
not as much use.
I'm pretty well at tracking and finding paths, although probably not as good as Lonan.
I can give you an assist, Lonan.
Yeah, whatever works. Yeah, I guess Lonan and Folk will take the front then.
Kiesel will take second in this spearhead.
Guess Alfred will take third.
So you will be up with Lonan and Folk.
Yeah, Lonan easily wins the survival battle.
Plus 10.
There are 3 plus 5s, but
But there's only one. Plus 7.
And only one, -1.
Yay! Actually, let's extend the arc. We're gonna extend the torso arc. Get up there, son.
I'm not the most wise, but I'm also not the least.
That's all you need, bud. That's all you need.
Mhm.
Yep.
All right. I don't know if you guys remember the discovery of the party sheet having the watch order.
Oh
Oh, yeah, it's
yeah.
also got the marching order thing in it.
Yeah, it's got the formation thing. So if you guys want to, either one will work for this. If you want to put them as march or move the tokens around, or just do the watch order. Figure out who's fall in line as to where you're going to be.
So I'm assuming me and Torsten are more towards the back. So like fourth or rear, I guess.
And I would say pick a single file line. Because, Dustin, correct me if I'm wrong, but we get up into a mountain, we're not going to probably have a whole lot of 2x2 travel points.
No, you'll be lucky to get a footing.
So it was Lonan, Zedri, Alfred.
Well, would Kiesel allow for Zedri to push him back if we're doing single file? Because you called second.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You can say no.
no, you go ahead.
Is Kiesel hard set on set in position that he's gonna stab Zedri?
He thought about it for too long. I just want to check that VOD. Run the VOD.
No. It's fine. It's fine. Cedric needs someone looking over his shoulders.
Yorfield will probably have Torsten in front of him so he can keep a better eye on him, make sure that he's good since he's still on recovery, essentially.
Okay. Yeah, we're jostling tokens around, and then Salinas is standing off to the side. So where are we putting Salinas in this line?
He's got hooves, he can go up the sides.
Mirthful leap the entire way.
He like squats down and jumps the entire mountain. I guess the sneeze is probably going to be towards the middle.
Something like that.
I think so.
Loden, Zedri, Kiesel, Salinas, Alfred, Torsten, Yoferdir.
I do not have this map pulled up.
It's the party sheet.
It's the
The
party.
Party sheet.
Duh, obviously.
Yeah.
Do that.
It has a hidden secret tab, you gotta say the password, but the password is in Dwarvish, so I hope you're fluent.
I am actually. It's like one of the three languages I am. That's a good line. I like that line.
The Dwarvish. Okay. With Loden in the lead. Some mountain climbing.
I will say this type of mountain climbing is a lot different than my type of climbing. I'm a glorified pebble wrestler.
Where are the gribs?
Everyone else is getting ready, and there's Alfred just chalking the absolute hell out of everything.
You see
It's
him
all
just
ice.
like miming out this like
Walks
weird, intricate.
Walks up to the cliff, just starts brushing it a little bit.
Where'd you get that brush from? We haven't even seen a boar in like God knows how many days. Where'd you get its hair?
All right. You begin your ascent into the lower reaches of the mountains. Terrain is uneven, but not yet steep. Any path obscured beneath fresh snow and half-buried rocks. Early morning air is crisp, carrying the faint tang of pine and frost as snow falls in gentle flakes, muffling sound and creating a tranquil, almost otherworldly quiet. That is aside from the whistling wind continues to blow past your ears, reminding you of the bitter cold and unforgiving landscape of Torslin. Occasionally, that wind will send the flakes into swirling eddies that momentarily blur your view. Away from the faint trail, small animals dart through the snowy underbrush. Curious hare, scuttling fox, tiny birds flitting between branches. Lonan, as the trailblazer out front,
Mm-hmm.
how do you plan on blazing your trail? What skill would you like to use as the leader? And why? This is
So
the essay portion.
yes.
Mhm.
So trying to find the safest path up to this dragon's lair. Um I would say, God, I'm stuck between nature and survival. I'd almost say survival based off of taking the skills she has used in like from working as a guide in the underground in the Untendunk and kind of using that knowledge in a different environment.
Okay.
Of like kind of seeing where there's breaks in the trees, possibly where other animals have made their way through the brush, um, that sort of thing.
All right, give me a survival check then.
Alrighty.
And if somebody is assisting you at the front that is also skillful in this department, they
Sidra will
can
assist.
grant you advantage.
Alright.
Sidra will help by producing flame just to kind of pull so that we can make sure that we're not stepping into anything jagged.
Mm-hmm. 24.
Yeah, that's an okay. It's not 32, but
No.
all
Well,
right. With
32
a
wasn't even actually 32 was
that's
a
true.
mistake.
With a 24,
Mm-hmm.
you your eyes sharpen against the snowy backdrop as you scout ahead, brushing aside low-hanging branches and snow drifts. There are moments of careful searching. You spot a narrow game trail winding through the underbrush. Its faint impressions barely visible beneath the fresh snowfall, but enough for you to find it. And with your experienced knowledge of tracking animals, know that where there's a game trail is likely the path of least resistance between major points of interest for beasts of the area, likely leading towards water or food or the safest path to the next area. You lead the party, press into a narrow wooded passage, find yourself flanked by jagged rocky outcroppings that rise like natural walls on either side of you. It's an unmistakable trail. There's no other place for this trail to go than down through the middle of this. Trail carved by time and use, only one way forward. Through the dense trees, knee-deep snow. Air feels colder here, muffled by the thick forest, and your footfalls crunching loudly in the otherwise quiet, closed space. What's your passive perception, Lonan?
It is 20.
Okay. With a 20, as you are moving along, leading the party behind you, you halt abruptly, eyes narrowing as you spot faint outline beneath the snow. Do you do?
Sorry, I think you cut out for a second.
You spot a faint outline beneath the snow up ahead.
What's like the size of it?
Maybe about 2 foot long. Based off of the outline it gives with the snow, couple inches tall. Not moving. Something static.
Lonen's going to hold up her hands, kind of to tell the others to stop. And with a kind of like very quietly in Draconic, she's going to tell Folk, or ask Folk to go take a closer look at it, while the rest of us kind of hang back.
Okay.
Anytime we stop or anything like that, Gilfrida would go back to back with Torsten just so he's got full 180 view behind. Nothing can come up, sneak up on us. But I mean, of course, he'd be looking back every now and then, anyways.
All right. You said folks moving up ahead to investigate.
Mm-hmm.
What is Folk doing to investigate?
Kind of just like getting closer to it, kind of. Since it's not moving, it's under the snow, kind of like moving some of the snow aside.
Give me a sleight of hand check for Folk.
Be a dex check, because she does not have.
What? She doesn't have sleight of hand proficiency.
No.
Come on.
Oof.
She goes and just kind of like noses around a little bit, trying to see if there's any smell. Picks up a smell. Seems to kind of like drive her forward a little bit as she starts to kind of dig away, as you would more so expect Cybil to. She starts to like dig down through the knee-deep snow, trying to get down to whatever the source of this obstruction in the snow is. And you all hear a loud snap. And Folk just lets out a screech as she pulls up, and there's a bear trap clamped on her snout.
Lonen will very quietly start cursing, probably in Draconic still, as she still kind of like keeping her hand up to keep the others back, but will go and get it off of Folk.
I don't think I have Folk on the combat tracker because I cleared out combat.
You do not.
Ooh.
She takes 11 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
All right, you're going to attempt to remove it?
Yeah.
Give me an athletics check.
Not bad at that.
You pull and pull, and using all of your strength to try and get this thing open, and you feel like it's starting to give, and then just snap shut at the last minute just before she can get her snout out. Taking an additional 9 points of piercing damage.
8. Is there any like mechanisms or anything on it that that could be used to release.
What's your base nature knowledge? Or I guess, yeah, we'll go nature knowledge.
It's plus 10.
Okay. Yeah, the bear trap, it's a matter of once it's sprung, it's a matter of you get brute strength to get it back open again. Disarming it's one thing. Disarming it after it's already been activated is just gonna need somebody with some good old strength.
Well then, perhaps let Bjorfridir or Diesel or Thorsten help you with that.
Oh. Yeah, I guess I'm so used to dealing with this on my own. Sorry. If y'all don't mind getting the bear trap off of Folk.
As long as Folk doesn't kick, scream, or bite, and she's okay with being handled.
Yeah, she's good.
Okay. Diesel will walk up and go around Folk and just kind of like prop her up with the weight of everything, so she's not like dragging down. I will kind of motion for Yofri to come up. I would assume that you could open this with your bare hands. If not, I have a knife on me.
I'd be scared of your knife breaking, honestly. Better to just pull on it and...
If Yofridir's gone up there, I'll replace him looking back to watch where we've come from.
Give me a perception, and then whoever's going to attempt to pull this apart, give me an athletic.
Cecil, you want to roll or should I? Yeah.
You can roll. I'm the one stabilizing the dragon, but... Hey.
Do you want to have my inspo?
I
See if there's
I could-
anyone in chat.
I could also just unsummon her.
You know, that was my first idea, but I didn't want to be rude in assuming that you could have just pulled him out like Galfrank. But...
I mean, it'll take a little extra magic to summon her back later, but that's fine. And yeah, Lonan will just kind of touch Folk's head and kind of unsummon her.
Okay. Touch your hand, she blinks out of existence, and the bear trap drops down into the snow.
How old does this bear trap look? Like, how long has it been up here?
Give me an investigation. And if anybody wants to assist.
Oh.
It's fairly old. You'd guess several years, probably.
Okay. Well, let's just keep moving.
Oh, I will go ahead and take that, though. We can go ahead and put it in the bag of holding, and Sidra will pat the bag out of side.
Go ahead.
All right.
Lord?
All right. With the lovely bear trap now toted away in our bag of holding, you continue on. Pushing onward and leaving the wooded passage behind as you emerge at a point up above the main tree line. The terrain becomes increasingly rough. Jagged rocks, loose gravel underfoot, making every step a bit difficult. Air growing thinner and colder the further up you go. wind picking up slightly and carrying with it the scent of the mountain. Snow is not as deep here, as the landscape is dominated by rocky outcroppings, sparse patches of frost-covered grass. You get to those spots of grass, and there's like a little bit of an accumulation of snow, but most of the rest tends to blow away and drift further down the mountain as morning light begins to fade into towards midday. It's a good question. Who did not address that? Somebody want to answer that question?
Zedri fed them all a good berry. He had enough for everybody in the party as well as the three of them. So they're fed.
Yeah,
Okay.
feeding them and leaving them at the mine is probably the best bet. Just suddenly thought of that and I was like, shit.
Another animal companion.
All right. Ah. Lona, give me another survival check. Somebody's assisting you, you have advantage.
Zidri has gotten much closer to the ground with the produce flame to make sure to push away the snow drifts, and no bear traps for Lonan to step on.
16.
Okay. Carefully surveying the rocky outcroppings ahead, you begin to guide the party along your perceived safe path, ultimately finding yourself at a large crevasse. The snow continuing to fall lightly. This crevasse stretches out in front of you good 30 feet to get to the other side. And looking down, estimate at least a 40-foot drop. Halting at the brink, cold air gusting up from the depths below, stand faced with a choice. Turn back to attempt to find another route, or attempt to find a way to get across.
How long is it, you said?
30 feet.
So, no, I mean, like, how far does it extend?
Oh, out
Either
in each
way.
direction?
Yeah.
There is no real clear end in sight to it from where you're at. To the left, you get to where there's a sheer cliff face that rises up. This like kind of goes and just hits a bottleneck and then stops and heads up into this cliff face rising up that you could attempt to climb across if you had tools to do so. Off to the right, it just more actually just gets wider and wider.
I'm going to leave it to the rest of the group, as we can either try and cross here or find another path up.
If we send it a strong enough anchor across, I think that would be fine for us to be able to make it. Maybe on like a rope or something? Unless you all have problems with heights.
Maybe we
Oh, I know.
go, just like go down and then climb back up. Would that be safer?
How far down does it go?
About 40 foot.
Okay.
One of us is also in possession of a spider climbing potion. Surely that could alleviate some of the stress, right?
That's one of us.
Well, I'm not sure if it's that climbing, but supposed to help with climbing. So I should definitely be an anchor or set an anchor on the other side.
I have just the thing for that actually. And Zidru's gonna reach in to the bag of holding before producing from a side pocket the scroll that he has. It's the Misty Step spell. Should take you right on across. And then probably toss over rope. I think you're strong enough.
Oh, well, we don't need to use that to get across. Alfred will look down and click his boots together. I can just hop across. Or, I guess,
What I
fly,
think Zedri is trying to go for is us not using any of our more limited resources of magic.
It's his match. It's his shoes.
Yeah, no, it's got a long duration.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure.
For instance, it's up to 4 hours. Each instance using a minimum of 1 minute.
Do I see anything on the other side from where we're at that could be used as a suitable anchor?
There's some pretty steady looking rock.
Oh, definitely some good looking rocks on the other side. Could probably
A
be
few
an anchor.
trees.
Not a bad idea. Since Alfred can get across easy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, do we have, I guess an anchor?
Well, the rock would be the anchor. Just tie rope around it. I'm sure we've got plenty of rope, and Yorker will actually grab 50 feet of silk rope off the side of his patch.
Yep, Lonan has 50 feet of hempen rope.
Yeah, Alfred will take Yofridir's silk rope. That sounds amazing.
It shouldn't have a problem holding up at all. I think I'll get us all across.
Oh,
Just
yeah,
go
so-
one at a time, slow and steady.
Yeah, this silk rope is fantastic. And then Alfred will get to the edge of the crevasse, hook his boots together to ward them up, and buzz on it across.
All right. As you step off, activating your boots and start to flutter up into the sky a little bit, catch a little bit of an updraft as the wind picks up and just kind of cast. It's almost like leaving a little train behind you of snow as you go flitting across the crevasse and heading over to the other side. Make it there without issue, carrying the rope.
Alright, once across, Alfred will go ahead and secure it as best he can.
Give me a sleight of hand.
That was
That was scary.
Yeah.
22. I feel like you got a pretty solid knot tied in and attached. Yofrid, you're on the other side holding the other end of the rope, I assume.
Yeah,
I
I'd
feel
hold
like
on
you
to
got
it.
a good tight line. Now it's whatever you choose to do with it on this side.
Is there something within range of the rope that I could tie it to on this side?
Yeah. Similar structures. There's a few fir trees, some different rocky outcroppings. Everything appears pretty steady.
I'd probably choose one of the better looking trees, that way it can be at like a slight angle. It'll be easier for people to get on and then go across.
Okay. Go ahead and give me your sleight of hand check to tie off this side.
And Lonan will help him.
Good.
Good.
That's better.
It didn't improve by much, but
Oh boy.
you get it tied off. It's Alfred. You can feel a little bit of give from your side.
It's tying a rope. It shouldn't be that hard, right?
You
Well,
would
it's
think.
tied.
Okay.
Sorry,
I'll
finger's a bit
make
cold.
sure- After, we'll try his best to see if he can shore up the other side and keep it taut.
Okay. Give me another roll on your side. You can go with advantage because you've already established you can tie a knot.
Wow. Oof.
Dirty 20. Yeah, we'll take that as being that readjusting and reshifting it. Feels like you did your best. It's pretty solid. It's not quite as good as your original one, but you balanced out the problem on the other side.
I just want to make sure my friends are safe.
You feel pretty good. How are we doing this, folks? How are we crossing this?
If it breaks on this end with me on it, I suppose that tells us something, so I'll go first. And Yofur's gonna get up on the rope and start going across.
Tightrope walking?
No, he's gonna, like, monkey climb it, grab on with his hands, and then swing his legs up.
Okay. Alright. Give me an athletics check.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be good at those.
Mhm.
This is the real TPK check of the session.
Oh, that's pretty good.
You make a really good time as Joffrey just gets on there and just sliding across, hand over hand. And within minutes, he's off on the other side, and now there is 2 on one and 5 on the other. Who's next?
I will walk up to the edge of the tightrope, and I want to lend a hand. If anybody who needs it while they're like doing that first check or whatever, I want to be there to at least support.
Okay.
So I'll head towards last.
If it means I can roll using acrobatics instead of athletics, Loden will try to tightrope walk it.
Okay. That is what it means.
Yep. Right. Oh shit. Oh. Please register, please register. That was a nat 20 and it did not register.
Oh, time to roll another
Oh
one.
no!
Good. Okay, that's not as bad. It's
Okay.
not as good.
18. Go start your tightrope walk across, and there's the occasional wind kind of catches you a little bit, but you stay pretty steady all the way until you get like within feet of the edge. You start to lose your balance, but just enough momentum as you've been steadily making it across that you fall onto the other side.
Alfred will try and give a hand catch as she's coming across.
Good. I was assuming somebody would do that because she actually failed the roll. But
I was right there. It was like an auto help.
Other side.
you
though.
started her. You didn't finish.
Yeah.
Oh no! It's like, come on, I'm only responsible for 50% of the rope.
Yeah.
Alright. Who's up next?
Sears will go. He'll also try to tightrope walk it.
All right. Tightrope walking with hooves. I like it.
It's a lot of centralized.
We'll get ready after.
He was in the surface.
Yeah.
That's what his cousins did.
That's where his acrobatics proficiency comes from, right?
Yeah.
22. You watched Lonan do her little stumble at the end, and you just kind of like expertly balance just perfectly, like a little
Ooh.
dip to both sides. I like go to one, go to the other, keep going back and forth, perfectly all the way to the other side. Hop off the end without issue. No need for Alfred's help. And then there were 3.
I'll go. I'll do the same thing that Joffrey did. Just
Sunny boy.
it's good enough for him.
Yeah.
Rolling athletics. See how that works out for me. Paulie.
Torsten goes, you're still a little bit rough shape. Using muscles that haven't really been used very much in the last month. As you get to the center and slip for a moment, Torsten is hanging out there. Hanging
In the
on
middle?
rope. In the middle.
Oh god, this is like trying to like weight spot like somebody who's like bigger and taller than you. Oh god. I'm gonna like try to reach over. I'm gonna get on the ground. I'm gonna stick my glaive out to see if I can help his legs like re-wrap them around.
So he's
I don't know
about
if
16 feet across.
Oh,
this
he's
crevasse,
just-
so
He's just out of range. Damn it.
Zedri will be at the base on the end so that he can try to pull taut the rope again, since if his whole weight is on it, it's probably slacking just the slightest bit, and hopefully by that pull he'll be able to rebound back up.
Yes, Salinas will walk back out onto the rope and kind of sit down on it next to Torsten. Just kind of like cross his legs and see if he can offer any assistance.
all right, give me another acrobatics to walk back out there.
Oh, great.
All right, with a 13, you're able to make it back to where he's at. You're definitely shaking the rope more than you're helping, though. Torsten, give me a dex save.
It doesn't update my thing on here for my aura. So I should have +4 to my save.
Okay. Just put that in the little modifier box down in the bottom left.
One sec. Yeah, modifier 4. There we go.
Oh man, that just like slid on that one.
Do you want to use the inspo?
Probably.
Yes.
So I don't die. That'd be great. I love that. Thank you.
It's only 40 feet.
I'll be fine.
Does...
Oh my lord.
Oh jeez.
Oh man.
Okay, I'm just gonna like do I just start to like slip? Like just because if that is the case, I will I'm gonna, if I feel like my grip started going, I'll literally close my eyes and I will try and like do a brief prayer to Briora so I can and then I'll cast Misty Step to get on the other side of the platform.
Okay.
It's like literally I'll just be like I'll feel my fingers slipping and so you'd see his eyes close and he just starts mumbling something under his breath.
Oh,
And then he lets go. And then appears next to Yofredir, just like that was close.
Bamps out and a scattering of mist and then disappears and pops up behind Salinas next to Yofredir and Alfred. Salinas, give me a dex save as the weight releases off of this line and starts making it waver.
Salinas was also having to make a deck save because he was preparing to jump after after Torsten.
Oh,
Oh boy.
stop!
After he lets go.
22. There's the you pop up and start to lean, and then you're trying to right yourself as he disappears, and you catch yourself and are able to realize that he's now behind you, and flipping around, make your way back over. So we are down to 2.
Should have said you could do that sooner.
I thought I would be able to climb a rope. I was wrong. Atrophy is a real thing.
Zedry will look over to Kiesel. I think you should probably go. Good to have a spotter on both sides.
Thank you, Zedry. Great.
Are you okay? You're athleticsing it, so you get out there a little bit past halfway point, about the same spot that Torsten fell.
Instead of like shimmying it, I got a running start and I leaped off, and I used my glaive to kind of slide before prematurely stopping halfway on the zip
And
line.
gliding across.
My legs are just kind of like kicking.
All right, for the creativity, you can roll again for your athletics check.
Oh boy! Please be cool.
Man, that 19 was there and it went away.
Are we sure we want to fight this dragon tonight?
Oh fuck!
I do have to say, for all that Ollie talks about how horrible his rolls are, it has finally come to fruition in one of our games.
Yeah.
But unfortunately,
That
Kiesel's
bad luck
following
follows
suit at this
Yeah,
point.
that bad luck follows me.
You left it on the rope.
Does anyone
God.
want to redeem channel points so that one of the that reroll? That
No,
would
Goes
be-
to the and starts
I can fly out
begging
of
to
it.
the
Oh, I'm not above begging.
Beg the gods for an intervention.
Please, considering the 2 of them are here tonight, we can't do anything.
Hey!
There we go.
Thank you
Mansu
so
is calling
much,
for a reroll.
Mirm 2. We appreciate you so much. We love you.
All right, Kiesel, re-roll it, and you can roll an advantage re-roll. So
Oh
Because
wow, we're really
your
trying to make
creativity
this-
got you the advantage to start with. So, whew. Man,
Oh, look at
3
that.
came back again. But hey, there we go. Saved by the chat. That's why
Ooh,
we need
don't
you
pay-
here, chat.
Don't pay attention to the 3 other dice that got rolled. I just leap off after leaping at Zedry, and I slide across it before bracing my knees, hitting the wall, and just jumping back up. Very flashy. Too flashy.
Yeah, it's a. You get to that midway point, and fingers start to slip a little bit before you regain and get back in there. Which leaves Zedry. It's
Yeah.
the only one on the other side.
Zedry will kind of like look over the crevasse and just kind of call out to the others and say, "Hey, I'm gonna go ahead and untie it from this side, and then if you can just pull me up on your side." And Zedry will go ahead and take the silk rope, untie it from the anchor on this side. He's gonna start kind of wrapping it around his body, because even though he doesn't remember it, he did create seatbelts at one point. And he is going to go ahead and leap off and brace to hit the wall.
Yo figure's gonna be holding that rope pretty tight.
All right. All right, you tied yourself up with a seatbelt. I suppose we'll do sleight of hand as your check.
Oh, okay.
How well did you fasten yourself?
Not very well.
I'm gonna give you my inspiration.
Okay.
Guys, we need that for the dragon.
We need
I was
that.
saving it for that, but
Oh my
Not
god!
That much better.
My God.
Zedric is full on like the way that people who do silks like wrap themselves like over his thighs and things like that. Like he's done that, but then he also moves
Goes
and
spinning
realized
out.
that he wasn't gripping where he kind of like tied it around, so it just immediately like flies off the end, and he realizes that he is not as secure as he thought he was.
Give me a save.
A deck save.
Yeah.
Does
Okay.
it at least look graceful as you as it all unwinds?
He's also doing it out of sight because he hit a wall.
Okay, the inspiration was not 100% for naught. It did improve your roll from a 4 to an 8,
It did.
which got you to halfway down. So, with a 9 on the deck save, you hit the ground, but you're only going to take 10 feet worth of fall damage, and you still have the rope there to be able to climb back up.
Oh, okay.
So,
Yeah.
that is
Some damage.
5 points of bludgeoning damage.
Now, when you drag that to me, I technically have to make a concentration save
Okay.
against.
Oh, for the stillness.
Your meditation.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, look at that.
You know what? F you, Fantasy Grounds. That was not what I needed that 20 on. But I will immediately pull from that pool because I have a
Good.
pool
Wipe
of
it out.
20 health. Yeah. So I'll go ahead and recover myself as I climb up.
Yep, and then give me an athletics check to climb up, which is a much easier task than the
That was the goal because
And-
sort of easier task.
I was like,
I
can
was-
me and Yofradir like just start pulling the rope up as
Yeah.
he's climbing?
yeah, and
Yeah.
Lonan, as soon as he's
Two of you at the top, one of you give me an athletics check with advantage.
and Lonan, as he's coming up, as soon as he's within reach, she's going to kind of like help pull him up the rest of the way.
Yeah, if you see me roll dice, do you really want me rolling this?
I'll go ahead and roll.
There we go.
There we go. Next.
Hey, that's pretty nice.
Yeah, that's
nice.
pretty good.
Nice 2 rolls.
Yeah.
for all the secure wrapping that Zedri did, like around, all he has is the silk rope wrapped once around his forearm as he makes it to the top.
As you pull Zedri up on the other side and complete your successful encounter across the crevasse, finding yourself on the other side and able to continue your path. I need a Lonan attempts to lead you on kind of correcting her way a little bit to get a little bit better path. And I need everybody to give me athletics or acrobatics checks as you navigate your way up the side of.
All these radiating bad rolls. I'm getting cucked out here. Good lord.
Hey, it's happening to me too.
And then
Give me
there's
my good rolls
Alfred.
back. God, will his 24 carry us?
Alfred channels his inner Bustin' Boulders.
Mm-hmm.
As life
I did,
imitates
like,
art.
15
Yes.
isn't bad.
Who am I missing? Conrad? Salinas?
Right?
I figured
Didn't-
Conrad could
yes,
just
it
walk
didn't.
up.
It didn't go through. It didn't go through, apparently.
I hate when that happens, especially.
Yeah.
Well, when it comes out as a 25 on the second roll, you don't complain too much. So
Yeah, no.
It can't complain
Alright.
too much.
I will try and remember that I had a funner way to do that. I will do that the next time. But anyway, you all succeed. It was only a DC 7. This was a really easy check.
Oh, okay.
So, make your way up the slightly steeper portion of the climb and continue your way as you start to near midday. And I'll need another survival check. I assume with continued advantage coming from Zedri on the assist. And if at any point in time you guys want to change your order of people, that is entirely up to you.
23.
23. All right. As you carefully survey the rocky outcrops ahead, the wind howling fiercely around you as the snow lightens a little bit. After careful examination, you think you spot a narrow but stable route up what is now turning into full-on rock face. And with a nod to the party, you lead the way, finding secure footholds to convey to them as you begin the ascent. The path proves to be safe as you continue your climb as midday comes, and the wind's still biting but manageable as you move into this somewhat sheltered portion of the mountain. Okay, so that I do this in the more fun way. Lonan, give me a athletics or acrobatics. Oh no, sorry, an athletics. We're at athletics at this point.
Okay.
Give me an athletics in the tower.
Okay.
Ooh.
All right. Zedric, give me an athletics in the tower. And then we're going to build some suspense and reveal these one by one as we go. Kiesel?
I like how the lights on the tower light up when you hover over it.
I know, it's so cute.
Salinas?
I just have to be athletics, man.
I know.
You got hooves.
And
You can just walk
I
up
guess
the incline.
I will say at any point in time, if you feel like you have a good justification on why you can use a different skill to do this, I'm willing to listen. And if you have something that you think can help you do this to give yourself advantage, I'm willing to listen to that too.
That only applies for the people who haven't gone yet, though.
Yeah, I was about to say, I wish I
Well,
had that
I'm actually
sooner.
going to say that any of you, if you end up with a... Because actually these should be with advantage anyway, because Lonan gave you a good path. Zedri re-roll in the tower.
Okay, out me like
as
that.
an advantage.
It's the one skill that I don't have anything in.
No, it's an advantage roll.
Oh, okay,
advantage in the tower.
Then I'm just gonna roll one more then, if it's advantage, rather than roll 3 times.
Well, if you want to do that, then we'll just use your second roll instead of your first roll.
Oh, okay.
Because that was your better roll. Kiesel on athletics.
You mean a re-roll?
Yes, do it as an advantage roll, though. Because Ollie's rolls were still rubbing off on you on that last one, so.
I bet.
And Salinas, advantage in the tower. On athletics. Alfred. And this is all with the presumption you are attempting to follow Lonan's lead to climb up the side of the mountain. If you want to attempt to use something else,
So
you won't have the advantage, but...
In climbing from one place to another, we have a platform that we are standing on, and there's a platform that they are standing on, correct?
There are footholds and handholds that they are going, and you're following along. So no, they are not necessarily on a platform.
But they're ending up at a location.
So they're heading towards a location, yes.
Do I see the location?
Yeah. It's about 40, 50 feet up.
Alfred will once again click his boots together and fly up the side of the mountain.
How many hours does your flight last off of each activation?
It's, I believe, reading it last time, it was 4 hours, and each uses at least 1 minute. Let me check that.
So you'd still be within your 4-hour span to not be...
Yes.
Yeah, on this one. Okay. Alright, if you're going to just fly there, then you can skip your roll. You have an auto success. And that'll bring us to Torsten.
I like the idea of Alfred looking at the wall, looking at the classification of it, just being like, that's not a V6. And then immediately just flying up the wall.
Not even worth my fingers.
So was it advantage?
It's
Athletics?
advantage athletics in the tower.
Gotcha. Can't believe I rolled 2 1s, guys.
And
It's
Yofrid.
opposite suspense for me because I think I'm already dead.
Woo.
It's okay. Your son will catch you.
Yeah.
Oh wait, that was
It was
Alright.
supposed to be in the tower, but
wasn't in the tower, but
wasn't in the
It was-
tower, but
It was such a good roll that we had to know about it.
yeah, the tower spoiled it for us.
Okay. So this is a 4 successes before 3 fails type of situation, but I wanted you all to be able to roll, so that's why we're doing them in the tower.
Mm.
So, Lonan at the top of the order. Let's see if I... Oh, come on.
You're leaving us in suspense.
Oh. I'm supposed to be able to click on the little button and make it viewable, and it's not working anymore.
oh no.
Oh, that was gonna work so nicely.
Just
All right. Lonan's first roll was a nat 20 for a 25. That is 1 success.
I literally, as I rolled it, I don't know why my brain went, oh, it's a nat 20. I don't know why my brain just went, like, it's a nat 20. Like, I don't know why.
You could see the code. You could see the matrix.
I guess.
Zedri. Zedri, did you feel a nat 20 in any of those 3 rolls?
No, I'm a subpar druid and a subpar monk. I don't think that I don't think that I passed.
Zedri had a 13. That is a fail. Which brings us to Kiesel. Kiesel, you rolled 2 frickin' 5s on your advantage roll. So you have a 12. That is also a fail. Alright. Salinas rolled a 8 and a 4 for an 8.
I'd have expected that.
And as Lonan gets to the top, gets to the next ledge, Zedri gets just close to the top before losing his foothold and falling, and proceeding to take Kiesel and Salinas with him as all 3 of you go tumbling down. Alfred, flying along. Any reaction as your friends start to fall as you're flying past them?
So, is there any of them that I could possibly catch?
You can try.
Do you want me to like to make a dex check?
Well, tell me who you're trying to catch.
Zedri.
I don't know the answer to that.
It's Kiesel, for sure.
Yeah. No, of course it's Zedri.
Okay. You can give me a dex check or a dex save. I'll let you pick. It's kind of an in-between. You're making an effort to catch them, but you're also relying on your reflexes to be able to do it.
I'm sorry, a dex check or what?
Or a dex save. Which your dex check could be an acrobatics if you have proficiency there.
No, they're all the same.
Okay.
Here we go. A 21.
Alfred grabs a hold of Zedri as he's going past and gets a firm hold on that forearm, saving Zedri from falling the full 40 feet. Unfortunately, nobody there to catch Kaisel or Salinas as they start to fall past Torsten and Jofridir. Torsten, you're the next in the line. Do you wish to attempt to make any sort of reaction at this point in time, not knowing how successful your climb is going?
Well, I mean, I assume I failed my climb because it's me. So that's
You
just...
did say it was 2 1s.
Yeah. So I'm assuming that's going to happen. So I will, as if I see them like falling, I will try and like, if I'm next up, I'll try and maneuver my way. I think I'll try and like, I've seen Salinas like climb, so I'm going to try and like, put myself under Kiesel to try and like catch, to almost like brace myself against the wall itself to try and like stop him falling anymore, to give him something to like hit onto, and then like hold out the haft of my weapon to give Selena something to grab onto. He seems more dexterous.
As I'm coming near, can I pull out my glaive's reaction to this and stick it into the wall of ice that we're climbing? Or is this more like a rocky mountain and I'm kind of fucked?
You're climbing a mountain.
Oh, okay, then I will...
You're gonna go break that glaive you just got.
Oh, hell no.
But also, the benefit that I have is once they get close to me, they also benefit from the aura. So
Okay,
they'd be
that's
able to
true.
get +4 to whatever save they have to make, which hopefully would be good.
Okay. Salinas and Kiesel both give me dex saves.
You know what's so funny? I had
So-
Featherfall
Salinas is going
prepared
to
for
give-
so long. For so long. No, I don't have it prepared now. We're going to go fight a dragon.
Featherfall.
Yeah.
I'm going to give Kiesel the best chance, and then as Selena starts to fall, he's going to cast Misty Step and appear on the next ledge with Saga.
Good save. Alright. As Kiesel's falling down over top of Salinas, they're both heading down towards Torsten, and suddenly Salinas bamps out of existence for a moment and then pops up next to Lonan and Alfred, or next to Lonan up above. Alfred's still going up there with Cedric. As Kiesel falls and grabs onto what has been provided by your new paladin friend. And Torsten, give me a strength save.
Did you take a paladin? Is Torsten like canonically a
27.
paladin? Okay.
Alright, with 27, easily you are able to hold on to Kiesel, and not only that, wrench him back up onto a handhold and put him back on the line to be going up. And Kiesel, you can give me a new advantage athletics check. As Torsten, you had a 19 on your athletics check, so you climb the rest of the way up without issue.
I use Kiesel as a handhold as I climb over him.
He puts me up, I put the holes for him, and then he pulls up on that.
As the remaining 3 all make their way up, Alfred landing with Cedri, and you've all made it to the top of the cliff face. As you reach the cliff face, you notice that just the air is getting colder the further up you go. I need con saves from everybody, and if you are wearing a crow cloak or anything else that grants resistance to cold damage or cold temperatures, you have advantage on the con save.
Oh yeah, we are.
I
bundled
literally
up.
have
Also, if you're within
2
10
saves.
feet of me, you would get +4 on your con save,
Nice.
which I imagine would be the 2 people in front and then the person behind me.
Yeah, this is once you're up, so you guys
Oh,
would
then
all
then
get it
everyone,
at this
everyone
point.
gets +4.
So
And
good
I'm
to
also
buff my
17.
5 to a
Cedric needs it.
9.
Oh, baby.
Hell yeah!
and it's advantaged if I've got
Yes.
the crow cloak on.
If
If
you
you
got
got the
anything
Crow
that's
Cloak.
giving you the resistance, which Crow Cloak does, so.
Oh, I dropped the
31.
Yeah.
2 nat 20s in that grouping. And Zedri, that +4 was everything. It was a DC 8. So,
That's
just get you up over the hump.
crazy.
Which is good because it was 10d10 cold damage. I chose to not upgrade the sets of damage to level 11, so that was the deadly level 10 as you get onto this cold edifice. But thankfully, nobody taking any cold damage as you guys are all able to stay warm with your crow cloaks.
With a nat 20, I rip off part of the shirt and tie it round, put it like a scarf around Zedri to keep him warm.
Zidri is so out of breath. We're at such high an elevation. I'm getting like shortness of breath and everything. Oh my gosh.
In through the nose, out through the mouth, slowly.
Zedri's just like mouth breathing so heavily.
Yeah, Alfred's
No,
just,
that
casually
saves on the
rubbing his
next one.
back. Just like rubbing your back, like it's gonna be okay. Just take it slowly. Take it slowly.
All right.
On the flip side,
my-
Torsten's standing there and is just like, I've not felt this alive in a long time.
All right, my leader of the party needs to give me a survival check, and with advantage from the winded Zedri, I suppose.
Zedri's, rather than producing flame, Zedri's like hot breath is the thing that's actually like fluttering out and melting some of the snow.
19.
All right, 19. So you find yourself at another cliff face, nearing the top. Feel you're getting very close to where you need to be. And I would say, imagining that this is we're doing like single rolls, but this is over a long period of time. This is taking you pretty much the entire day to make this climb. Carefully surveying the rocky face. Unfortunately, terrain proving a bit more treacherous than you anticipated as you start to make your handholds and start to go up. And as everybody behind you starts to follow suit, you start to notice that your handholds are crumbling and unstable and starting to fall apart in your hands. So we are going to do, this is the last round of climbing checks. As starting with the top in the order, you're going to make rolls in the tower for athletics check, unless you have an alternative you want to propose when we get to your turn. Alfred, your 4 hours would be up, but obviously you can go reactivate if you so choose. But yeah, athletics checks again. And this time in the tower with disadvantage, as you have crumbling handholds.
Can I argue that since Loden, she grew up has spent most of her life underground. She has spent most of her life essentially caving, climbing cliff faces for her job to work as a guide and a lookout, leading others through extremely dangerous, rocky territories, sometimes up some very interesting paths, is literally what she does. Can I argue to use survival at disadvantage? Because this is quite literally like this is her job. Different.
I'll allow it.
Different
Good
environment, but this is what she does, and I'll still do disadvantage. But
Okay. Zedri. Athletics or give me your argument.
Hey, so it's your boy Zedri here, and I'm gonna go ahead and make a really, really weird one because specifically from sustaining meditation, I have awareness and control of my body's natural processes. Obviously, adrenaline is one of those, and every single time Zedri has climbed up to this point, he has been tense as heck. So he's going to go ahead and take it low and slow this time. And he is going to also buff himself by using one of his key points to go ahead and kind of leap a little bit more, give himself a little bit more jump dexterity. But with sustaining meditation up and him being kind of fully aware of that, make a medicine check at disadvantage.
Wow.
And I thought mine was a stretch.
Hey, I said
Brother
up front, and
Infernus.
I'm also adding a key point to it, so...
That is true.
I will say,
Word
the
for
combination of the two things, I will not let you make a medicine check. You will still be the athletics, but I will negate the disadvantage.
Can I do acrobatics?
He's using a key
No.
point.
Okay.
Come on.
I
I was gonna argue for it.
will take my +0 athletics at straight roll.
All right. Kiesel. Athletics at disadvantage, or do you have a spiel?
Kiesel's
Everyone's
spiel
gonna
is
have
the fact that his athletics is a +7 and the highest stat that he could actually pull from. So instead of doing all that nonsense, he's just gonna kind of try to speed climb this one up. Yippee!
All right. That's Salinas.
Okay. Salinas, you can look at this more hazardous climb. Is going to take off his boots and try and utilize his natural physiology. Maybe use acrobatics instead of athletics. Natural goat-like abilities.
The dexterity in his ankles.
Combination with my
Okay.
ability to jump higher.
I'll let you do
jump from
acrobatics,
thing to
but it
thing.
will still be disadvantage.
I figured. But +7 is so much better than a +0.
Yes.
I mean, the interesting thing about this climb is that it's an incline, which we would usually call slab climbing, where you would normally see, like, out in nature, the very famous pictures of, like, goats just, like, climbing up a face. Like, you don't even need your hands, really. You can just walk up.
Well, on that note, the guy that knows the climbing stuff but is not climbing today because he's just flying. What are you doing to get up the side?
You said that my wing boots are out of flight?
Your 4 hours would have ran out from the first usage.
It's not all at once. It's not like it starts and then continuously goes.
It's like you can initialize it, use some time, and then stop them. You just get
Yeah.
4 hours
A
total.
minimum of a
It's
With
just
a
minute.
minimum
at
of
a
1
time.
minute each time.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the question, the question is, did it take 4 hours
Man,
to do that?
who
first
wrote
set of
that
climbs?
spell? That's horrible.
Hey, he's
Horrible
only
thing to track.
plugging his phone into the external battery when he needs the little boost, back up to 20%.
I'm just that's just an awful thing to track. How many minutes when especially in this group where we're trying to figure
That's
out how long were you there using the flying at any given point in time. So using it to climb up the last one, using it to go across. Yeah, I'd say you probably would still have some of your 4 hours left.
Okay. Then, again, I shall spin up my little
Skip
propellers.
this challenge.
I reject your skill challenge and instead raise you these boots of flying.
Yep.
I raise you the artificer skills.
All right. That'll bring us to Torsten then.
Right. Let's see if I can lawyer my way through this. Okay. I'm climbing up, and the issue is the handhelds themselves are not great, which means there's a chance that if I'm grabbing onto them, that they're going to start to crumble.
Correct.
I would argue that the fighting style that I have would allow me to immediately find a non-crumbling handheld or something that would stop me from falling, even if it would take me longer to do.
Remind me which fighting style?
Blind fighting.
Oh, that's right.
Oh. Huh.
I could have used that.
It's big Toph Beifong energy.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
We'll tell.
I will negate the disadvantage.
Perfect.
You can
Uh,
athletic straight roll.
Now,
And
because I don't know when to stop, what I would like to do in order to... Because you've seen my rolls. What I would also like to do is then utilize my use of Second Wind to allow me to put in the last bit of effort to scale this last bit of cliff, to then allow me to, instead of having the roll go to my health, have that add to my roll.
Yeah, you don't know. No, that's too much.
It's giving bardic
What?
inspiration.
Yeah.
I can't
Wait!
help it.
Wait!
Hey,
will
Can I
It
give,
say-
doesn't hurt to
can I
argue.
give bardic? Can I give bardic inspiration to someone?
I will say, Silver, I think Alfred, seeing how the last bit went, he would want to go. He would fly up after everyone's already scaled.
Okay.
So he'd go last.
Wait to be last.
Yeah. Make sure that everyone's
Fair.
here.
And I will roll my my single
Straight
my
athletics.
Yes, absolutely. Straight athletics is, I think, just football. Is that right?
I mean, I can't wait to see your disadvantage rolls be better than my straight roll, but
All right, Yofredir.
Because I just remembered that I have this. Can I give bardic inspiration to Yofredir for his climb?
Yeah, I'll let you. Since you're being limited to only being able to give it to the guy at the end, and presumably you would have had to do this before you started the climb, in which case you would have been able to choose a lot of people, I'll let you give it to Yofredir.
So Bardic
Yeah.
Inspiration is a plus
D6?
D6.
Okay.
It's only a D6 right now.
Well, I will roll the athletics and then I'll throw it
In the tower.
Yes.
Disadvantage athletics in the tower, unless you have your good crazy story to give me.
Nope. He's got no experience with mountains, really. For climbing.
It shows.
Ooh.
Oh,
It's more
no.
of a swing the
Not
axe and wish
good.
for the best.
Have you considered cutting the mountain down from where we are so we are at the top?
That's a good idea.
you haven't used the other side of your axe. That's obviously what it's for.
And then I'll know the way because I'll be able to see the other side.
All right. Lonan
Mm.
rolled. Let's see. So, oh, he says it. Okay. Rolled and. Well, if I can find where I was at in the order. Darn it.
The anticipation.
Lonan rolled a 8 and an 18. So
It's a
8 plus
disadvantage.
10, she's 18. So she succeeds.
Okay. I literally just made it to my other roll.
Mhm.
Zedri. You got a 6.
That tracks.
That is a fail. We're on track to go the exact same order as we did last time. Kiesel. You rolled a 16 on your first dice
Ooh.
and a 9. That's a 16, which is just enough to pass.
Hey!
Yeah.
I ate the advantage roll. Fuck yeah.
17 or 16 is our DC, sorry.
Ooh. All right.
Salinas rolled a 7 and a 16. That's a 14. That is a fail. And we are 2 and 2.
Oh no.
Torsten, with your straight roll of a 7 plus 9, 16.
That's
Just enough
Oh my
for a
God.
success.
All right. 3 success, 2 failure. We need 1 more success.
Oh, well, and unfortunately, because Alfred chose to go last, we have to see what Jofridir got, even though Alfred's a success. Jofridir rolled a 13 and a 1. And his Bardic Inspiration was a 1.
Oh.
For a total of an 11. Still a great modifier to go to that, but it is 11 that is a fail. As Alfred, taking off at the bottom, as, again, Zedri falling with Salinas, and now Jofridir is in this tumbling group. As...
Can I
Do
make
you
an
wish
item
to
for
make
something?
any reaction? And let's see. With that order, it's pretty much anybody other than Lonan would have an opportunity to try and help these people as they fall. You each can pick to choose to help one individual.
Can I utilize the second wind I was going to use before? Can I use that to grab Jofridir to give him a chance to re-roll?
Not with second wind, the healing ability. If you want
Yeah,
to...
but no, I mean just sacrificing the usage of it. As in, like, second wind, not to heal myself, but to give myself a little bit of extra strength to sort of grab onto him to give him something to readjust, so he can try and redo the climb. He was just behind me.
I won't let you use your second wind, but do you want to burn your action surge?
Oh no, not really. It's my son. It's my son, but I need this. No, give me a sec. Let me see what I can do.
He's my son, but
One from my son too. My son.
there's limits.
My son. My son. My son.
My action surge.
For point of reference, I will say Zedri will be falling 40 feet because he is just short of the top. And then each person below is falling 5 less feet in the order that they were. So Zedri's 40 feet, Salinas is 30 feet. Jofridir is only falling 15 feet.
I'll just fall and start it, Van.
Kaisel, are you doing anything to attempt to help Zedri as he falls past you?
I've been thinking about it.
You don't have much
No.
time to react, so don't think too long.
No, I'm not gonna do it.
No.
Get the sand
Okay.
timer.
No, I'm gonna. God, I feel like I just have this big stick here. I'm gonna take out my glaive and try to hold it on for Zedri to hold onto. I have it positioned in such a way to where it's under my arm and stuff. So I'm really leveraging my weight against it, so it's not just gonna he grabs onto it and it fucking.
Okay. Zedri, give me a dex save.
So you're holding out the bladed end towards Zedri?
No. The bladed ends. I have all the risk here. See, if you fuck it up, you stab me.
Oh, okay. It's not
No,
like
so the
we've
bladed
gone
end's
through
one-
that before.
He's got the bladed end underneath his arms so that he just slices into his arms if you hit too
Yeah,
hard.
if you really muck this up, bro, we are both going down together.
Zedri would know if it would actively hurt Kiesel, even with it being out there, he'll pull back. Zedri's not going to accept it unless he feels confident about it, and so he'd probably overestimate a little bit and probably miss it. If he doesn't,
Alright,
he's not
Kiesel,
going to
give me
stab
a-
Kiesel.
Keith will give me a strength save. Oof. No sweat.
No, we've done this.
Zedri goes and grabs just enough, gets fingers around the end of the pull of the glaive, and Kiesel holds steady, allowing him enough time to attempt to get back on the handhold. So you can re-roll your straight rolls, Edry.
Can I burn another key to give myself advantage?
No.
Okay. All right.
The DC's lower now because
Well,
you're further to the top. So
I don't know if it's as low as 5, but
it's as low as 19.
wow. Zedri will look at Kiesel and say, I just want to be completely clear. It sucks not being able to use any of my resources. He could have easily been an eagle, but he's holding back for this dragon.
If the struggle is to get to the dragon, but the breeze is to survive it, then I'd rather that than the breeze of getting there and the struggle to survive.
That's profound.
All right, as
When
Salinas
do you
is
want
falling
yourself?
past Torsten,
Salinas,
grab
Torsten,
him.
have
Can I
you
just try and-
resolved
can I
on what
just-
you're doing?
Can I just try and grab Salinas by like, I'll just try and grab him as he goes past.
Another one.
He's got the nice handles of horns back there.
If you grab him by the horn, it might actually break it. Oof, that'd be really bad.
Who would do that? That'd be
Ooh,
horrible.
Been there.
Oh,
I'll try and grab him as he falls past me.
All right, give a deck save or a check. Again, we're kind of in that gray area.
Me making the deck save, yeah?
Yes.
Power rolls straight in the thing.
Oh no, you can just roll it straight. That's fine. 17. Yeah, you're able to catch Salinas, swing him down. He actually kind of helps Jofridir fall off the side. So Jofridir just drops the 10-15 feet to the bottom, taking...
What I did is I grabbed someone else and used him as a pendulum to knock my son off the wall.
Pretty much. Helped eliminate any attempt that Jofridir had to try and regain his handholds. Jofridir, give me an acrobatics or an athletics. You hit and just kind of superhero pose. Hit the ground. With a dirty 20, I'm not going to deal any fall damage to you.
Sweet.
As Alfred, just starting his way up, watches Jofridir plant himself down at the ground and then start back up. So, Salinas and Jofridir need re-rolls of your attempts from before. You do have the opportunity to change how you want to do it if you're going to do it a different way than you did before.
Can
You can either do
Salinas'
the same roll.
Can I negate Salinas' disadvantage by continuing the momentum and just try and throw him back up?
You know what? I'll allow that. Salinas, you can just make a straight acrobatics roll now.
How many
It's
flips do I
providing
do?
you a springboard.
Just
At least
What?
one.
Damn you, Fritter. You really don't want to climb this last rock face.
Just a
Alfred?
little trembly.
Would you care to assist? He did save you from drowning long ago.
Oh.
How can I... There is actually a spell that I was thinking of using as a reaction, but it's weird because for some reason it doesn't have any... It's not written correctly.
That never happened. I don't know what you're talking about.
not really.
Which is
Never.
this? Oh no, I can't do that. Nope. Okay.
Yeah, can Alfred like
Give him a boost.
yeah, sort of like help push Jofridir as he's going up?
Yeah. Give me how do you want to do that? How do you want to propose to do that?
Well, it's a very interesting thing because like there is this sort of actual thing that we do in climbing called power spotting, where you can help assist someone into a position to help them work a problem, like work individual moves on a problem, and you might get into a weird position that way. So I guess it would just be a matter of like sitting underneath Yofridir as he's climbing and making sure that he's just stable as he's like going up the side.
I will allow Yofridir to disregard the disadvantage and just make a straight athletics check with that.
It's better.
There it is. With an
Oh, we
18.
made it.
Yofridir slowly bringing up the rear with like Alfred like spotting him the whole way up.
Back to
As
hands firmly placed on his ass. It's basically like how it is.
you finally make it up this last cliff face, and I need con saves from everybody. Again, you have advantage if you have some sort of resistance or took hold or the crow cloak.
Are we still
Yep.
getting the plus
Plus
4?
4.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's 4.
Yes.
We all have crow cloaks on, right?
Except for Yofridir, because he gave his to his dad.
Holy shit. Dropped a 1.
Oh, 30 though is crazy.
I didn't add the plus 4, so it's 22.
Nice rolls. My gosh, is the 18 seriously the worst one on there?
Yeah.
Nuts.
Yeah.
All right. You all are not affected by altitude sickness or cold damage in this case. I told you Zedria was coming.
Zedri's like dry heaves a little bit, but nothing comes up, so he's good.
After what feels like an eternity of climbing, especially that last leg, you finally find yourselves reaching the summit. With a final heave, Yofridir pulls himself up over the ledge, the last of you to make it there, as you all gasp for breath in the thin air of the high altitude. Your bodies soar from the relentless ascent. You stand in the face of an immense mouth of a cave, gaping maw carved into the side of the mountain. Towering over you at nearly 20 feet tall, jagged edges framed by the swirling mist of snow and ice that clings to the ground at your feet. The air around you feeling heavier. While it's thin to breathe, it feels heavy on your minds and body, charged with this unnatural cold, snowflakes swirling like spirits caught in a dance. As the wind howls and echoes against the stone of the mountain in front of you. A mournful cry seeming to warn of the dangers that lie within. Cave's entrance beckoning with an ominous allure. As the darkness beyond threatens to swallow up the fairly bright light the late afternoon sun, as you notice for the first time you are above the storm. Just as you steel yourselves for what lies ahead, the air trembles with a deafening roar, shakes the very earth beneath your feet. Sound primal like a fury of a storm unleashed, echoing throughout the mountain, through the cave, and exiting like a roar coming from the mouth of a large stone beast. Walls of the cave seeming to reverberate with this ancient, bone-chilling cry, as a reminder of the creature that you've come to confront. Wind stills for a heartbeat. the mist swirling in uneasy silence, as even nature holds its breath. And a voice at the back of your head, silent but clear, tells you, this is why you're here. Not literally, just want to clarify that. Nobody's talking in your heads. Please,
Yeah.
not saying this to everybody.
With
And no whispers.
with
Just,
us, that clarification is quite necessary.
yes, 100%. I
Um,
knew I needed to say it, so I hated to break the moment. But we're going to, that is where we are going to end tonight's session, at the last session of 2024 for Cybil's Spear. As we go into the holidays, that is where we will wrap things up tonight for all you viewers on the VOD end of things. We will be finishing up our Twitch stuff here over the next so many minutes, however long it takes us to get that part wrapped up. So if you are there in the chat, please stick around as we work through that portion. If you're watching on demand, come watch live. It's more fun. You get to interact. You get to save the day in certain situations, as we had a little bit of that tonight.
yeah.
And the party moved through some resources tonight, so they may need that assistance for Zormyrra.
Yeah.
We will be, I guess, a couple last little things. We'll be back next week with Varelia's Cauldron, working on our piety system, which you got a little bit of a glimpse of tonight. We'll be off the following week, and then we will be doing a special Life Day one-shot in a couple weeks, 3 weeks, however that maps out. The first session of January, first Saturday of January. And then we'll be back with Cybil's Spear on the second Saturday. So come back, help out, have fun with us. With that, we'll say goodbye to the VOD viewers.
Bye.
See you later.